Welcome to the Competitive 40k podcast, brought to you by Vanguard Tactics. This is a Warhammer 40k podcast where we analyse the meta, develop strategies to help you become a competitive 40k player. I'm your host, Stephen Box, and it's my mission to help raise the standard of the game, both on and off the tabletop. Now, just before we kick off this podcast, this was recorded just before the release of 9th edition, so a couple of these things may not be appropriate for 9th edition that we talk about, but still, it's really good as a premise to start to look at these combination things, buffs and abilities, and get you really excited about the Harlequins, and ultimately, you can start to pair these things together, getting ready for the 9th edition drop. So over to the episode now. So welcome guys, episode 15. First of all, apologies that we had a couple of week break from the show. I had some technical issues along with rebranding, getting the studio ready, coronavirus hitting all at the same time. There's a wombo combo, but anyway, the good news is we are back. And today I am joined by the Eldari specialist of Vanguard Tactics, Ben Jones. How you doing, Ben?
Hi Steve, I'm good, thank you.
And we've got a cracking show lined up today, haven't we?
Yeah, really good. Really exciting stuff.
So Ben, if you haven't listened to Ben yet talk or heard him on the podcast or anything, but Ben, you're our kind of all things Eldar man, aren't you?
Yeah. Eldar's the best.
So just quickly, give the guys a quick recap. How long have you been playing like Eldar in particular?
Well, Eldar, God, years and years, but competitively about 2.5 years now. Just at the end of 7th, start of 8th.
Yeah,
and I run Eldar at most events.
You've had a dabble with some others, but Eldar's your thing, aren't they?
Yeah. Eldar's what I always go back to. It's what I like playing.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk today about Harlequins.
Yeah, got some cool stuff.
So Harlequins have got some new rules that have come out in the White Dwarf magazine. I suggest every single one of you go and buy it, pick it up, read it, as no doubt after this show you are going to be picking up at least one troop, I think, or maybe even just a Solitaire perhaps. Who knows what you could be purchasing, but I'm sure you'll be giving Games Workshop some money for some Harlequins, no doubt, because I know I certainly have been. I've just placed I think like a £200 order of Harlequins. So
yeah, I've just put another order in as well.
Perfect. No, it's I don't think there's a bad way. Anyway, we don't want to go. Let's just say me and Ben very excited about this. So Ben, I'm going to hand this over to you. Where are we kicking things off?
So I think we'll start by going through the pivotal roles, if you'd like to go through them, and then we'll talk about which ones we like the best.
So yeah, a pivotal role is something that we this is actually really unique to Harlequins, isn't it? We haven't seen anything really like this before.
It's quite similar to the Exarch abilities in the Craft Worlds book.
Yeah, but they've changed like a model in a unit, whereas this changes how a character functions completely, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think the GW, sorry to cut you off, Ben, but the GW rules team have done an incredible job with this one, and I love it that they've seen the Harlequin range and thought they've got limited models, right? Because there's only 2 types of HQ, but now with these pivotal roles, we're going to go in. It's like you're kind of running. It's like you've got a choice of 4 troop masters and 4 shadow seers now, and same for the solitaires and death jesters as well. So it's brilliant.
Yeah, agreed.
So basically a pivotal role is a troop master normally gives you a benefit, which is you reroll all wounds in combat within 6 inches, don't you? For friendly masks. Yeah, and a mask, guys, isn't just like something you put on your face. A mask is essentially their chapter, isn't it?
Yeah, chapter tactic, basically.
Yeah.
For Harlequins. And
we can go over those a bit later with some cheeky combos, but I think there's 5 or 6 different ones. I'll tell you my favourite at the end of this, but essentially a troop master normally gives you rerolls to wounds. Now a pivotal role allows you to swap that. Now you have to write this on your army roster. If you're going to change it, you have to put it on your army roster, and also it stipulates here, which I didn't realise, each pivotal role ability in your army must be different. So you can't take the same pivotal role. Now, there's two questions. Well, one big question comes to mind with this is, with the Troop Master, can you take multiple of just... Let's say you wanted to keep the reroll to wound. Can you keep that? I don't know.
Yes, you can keep the base one.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the base one, but you can only swap out for a different one once.
Yeah. So there's 3, 4, and you have to be battle forged. So for the Troop Master, you get 3. You got Prince of Light, Darkness's Bite, and Twilight's Grasp. The Prince of Light, while a friendly mask unit is within 6 of this model, you can reroll charge rolls for that unit. And this is what I really like that the GW team have added in, is if you can already reroll the charge, you get +1 to that charge roll instead, because there is a Warlord trait that gives you reroll charges.
Yeah. So I think they put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah. So I really like how they've done that. So then you're like, oh, well, I already had that Warlord trait anyway. It's still on the cards because you get the +1 to the charge. So you're looking for 8-inch charges now from Deep Strike, let's say, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So the next one is Darkness Bite. Each time this model fights, after it is fought, you can select select one enemy unit that you made attack against, and it suffers 2 mortal wounds. And then finally, number 3 is each time a melee attack is made with this model that's not against a monster or vehicle, an unmodified roll of 2+ is always successful. So basically that's kind of like your beasts, infantry, bikers, isn't it really? That would hurt. Or Tau. Yeah, you're going to be going through battle suits pretty quickly because they're not a monster or vehicle, so yeah.
Yeah.
So they're the 3. Any standouts for you there, Ben? Are you going to be swapping any, do you think, on a Troop Master?
No, I like the Twilight Grass. I like the fact you can wound all the squishy guys. Like, you're going to try and get rid of characters and stuff with this guy, and to be always wounding on a 2, I think's really good.
Yeah.
Because you're only strength 3 normally, so it's getting those extra wounds through. I'd probably keep both though, because I like his reroll wounds aura as well.
Yeah, and we'll come on to how you can do that later. So
yeah,
I'm running 3 Troop Masters in my list now.
Yeah.
And I run this guy, Twilight Grasp. I run the Prince of Light for reroll charges. And I also run reroll to wound. So I run those 3 as stock, basically, yeah. Because reroll charges, I think, after playing Blood Angels for so long, it just helps out. Because you have to make those charges. You live and die by your charges as a Harlequin. It's probably one of the most squishy armies out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So next up, the Shadow Seer. And we've got 3 there. We've got Vale of Illusion, where... I'm going to summarise this one. When a friendly mask unit within 6 is shot by an enemy with a ranged attack, you decrease 6 inches from that range. So you're basically limiting their threat range by 6 inches. And it also works for half ranges for rapid fire. So now... so I play tested against a Leviathan, so all of a sudden I've made his storm cannons range 18 instead of 24. So it's so good. I've already given it away, but fantastic it is, the Vale of Illusion. Then you've got the Gloom Wake, which is a unit within 6, gets the benefit of cover, which is a strange one.
You're never going to use it. You've got invulnerable saves. You
only get... So the bikes and Star Weavers and Void, are they Void? Whatever they are. There's basically the transports and the heavy support and the bikes get a 4+ save. So that would take you to a 3+ save. But I can't really see many scenarios when you would use that.
No, I don't think it's very good.
I mean... Because then your normal guys have got a 6+, so they would get a 5+. Yeah, I can't see it happening. You're going to rely on that invulnerable save. And if they've got a null zone or a death hex, then you just suck it up, don't you?
Yep.
That's just a bad... And basically a death hex or a null zone. Null zone is within 6 inches of an aura of a librarian, a Space Marine librarian. You can turn off all invulnerable saves. And Harlequins all have a 4+ stock, so... That's why. And then the final one is Agents of Bedlam. While an enemy unit is within 6 of this model, subtract 1 from the attack's characteristics of models in that unit. Now, where's this going to come up pretty well in terms of... Now, this isn't off total attacks. This is off the characteristics. So, can you see any play for this one, Ben?
I think it's okay. Again, I think because like against orcs or something, you take one off. But the problem is if they're going to go from 5 to 4.
Yeah.
I don't see it as that bigger, a bigger ability to get it
against something like Knights, where they triple their attacks. That's where it's quite good.
Yeah. So you take 3 attacks off.
Yeah.
With it, it's good, but I don't think I would use that one
because the innate normal ability is -1 to wound.
Yeah.
So, which is so strong.
Yeah, I do like the illusion one. I think like making flamers 2-inch range and all sorts of things like that could be quite good fun to try and play.
Yeah, because then you don't worry about the flamer Overwatch then.
No, not at all. Bypasses it.
Yeah,
completely.
There's a lot of things that in like the regular -1 to wound. So in the playtesting I did today against 2 units of eliminators, I was playing Joe and he was like, "I can't even mortal wound you." I was like, "Yeah, I know, because you can't roll a 6+. You'd have to use you'd have to sacrifice his sergeant shots to get the +1 to wound so then he's back doing mortal wounds on 6s, but then he's only getting 2 shots, and he ain't killing a character with 2 shots when I got a 4++.
Yeah, no, the -1 to wound is so good.
Yeah, like even Ravagers in that matchup, Ravagers are wounding you on 4s, not 3s.
Yeah.
With the disintegrator cannons anyway, so yeah.
So I'd do the same as I said before. Probably my Shadow Seal would probably keep the standard one and have the Veil of Illusion as well.
Yeah. So I'm running, in the moment, I was running 3, I'm now running 2. I'll tell you why I'm running 2 now, or later on, but I'm running 2. So I'm taking Veil of Illusion and I'm taking -1 to wound, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Shadow Seal. So Death Jester next.
Yeah, awesome character, 45 points. Just
now, before,
so good.
He didn't really see much play before, did he? Apart from filling out a detachment.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, a little cheap detachment filler.
Or like maybe using him to sit on a backfield objective or something.
Yeah.
But now,
a lot of people took him to be able to use the Harlequin stratagem to redeploy the 3 characters.
Yeah.
Because you need one of each, so a lot of people just threw a Death Jester in so they could use that.
Yeah.
Cool ability.
Or if they wanted to run just one big unit of bikes, they were going to take a Solitaire anyway, then all you need to do is field 2 Death Jesters, and now you've got a legal detachment.
Yeah.
But now the Death Jester, his normal ability is that he gets to pick the model if somebody's slain, but it never came up, did it really?
No.
His gun it's only 24-inch range, not good enough.
Yeah, it was like you got this, sniper gun you have to get so close to do anything that you're almost putting the character at risk to start with.
And it was only 1 damage, so it was never going to really kill a character. So yeah, you've got 3 pivotal roles, and the first one is Harvester of Torment. Each time this model shoots, if the unit contains 6 or more models, each successful hit scores 3 hits instead of 1. But it's not cumulative with any other rule that causes an additional hits, because if you are a Sombrero, whatever it is, Dreaming Sombrero,
it's Dreaming Shadow.
Dreaming Shadow. That's it. You can spend 1 CP, and for every hit, you get another hit. And if you roll a 6, it counts as 3. So it doesn't stack with that. Basically, it's one or the other.
No, because that'd be insane. You'd be killing like whole units of orc boys with 1 guy.
I mean, it would be amazing, but yeah, absolutely. So that's quite nice. We can come back to that later as well, because we've got a combo we're going to talk about, aren't we? Yeah. Then the next one, the Jest Inescapable or something like that. You basically get 12
Jest Inescapable.
Extra 12-inch range on his weapon, great. and then you do a mortal wound on a 6, and in addition, you don't get a cover save either against that weapon. So it makes the weapon a little bit better. Now that will combine with some of the relics that you can take.
Yeah, I think both the relic cannons give you 36 anyway.
Yeah, so you'll be up to a 48-inch range.
Yeah.
So for sheer damage output, makes him, and then also you're taking off that cover. Yeah, it's quite nice. And then finally, the last one, Humbling Cruelty. Each time an attack made by this model against an enemy unit scores a hit, that unit is pinned until you start your next turn. While the unit is pinned, subtract 2 from the move characteristic of the model in the unit, and it cannot fire Overwatch. Amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's the best pick out of all of those.
Yeah,
just subtracting 2 from move, and especially how I play my Aldar. So my Harlequins will be souped in with Craft Worlds and Drukhari probably, and I can do things like restrain with my Warlock. So now I've got a unit that's -4.
Yeah.
So you can stop things like, things with like 5 or 4 inch move, maybe like Centurions and that. You can make them so they just don't
stand
move.
still. They just have to advance if they want to go anywhere.
Stand still or advance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
I think it's really good.
Yeah. Well, if they got that Leviathan Dreadnought, cool. You ain't moving, son, and you got -6-inch range now. Brilliant. So
you can really play around with it. You can, if they've move blocked their own models, you could slow the front unit down to the fact where it's not moving much, and then they'll really struggle to move out.
Yep, absolutely. So that one I'm going to come back to later, because there's a combo I really want to talk about later. Then finally we got the Solitaire. So agree, all those 3 pretty good on the Death Jester? I would say so.
Yes. Yeah, they're all pretty good.
I mean,
and when you put the relic cannons in as well, it can get really, really good.
If the Death Jester got any of those, I'd have been like, oh, that's great. But I got 3 to pick from. The worst thing is I can't take more than the same one. I've got to take them all. Got to take different, but that's all right. So Solitaire, right? So we've got Shocking Emergence. Basically, you can put him in Deep Strike, and when he comes down 9 inches away, you get an extra D6 on the charge, and you have to discard 1. So you basically get a 3d6-inch charge and you discard 1 of the dice. Quite good?
It's okay. I don't think you need it. He's fast enough anyway.
And then you've got, because you're swapping your Blitz attack, and your Blitz gives you +2 attacks, and you basically get a 2d6 advance, don't you, rather than a 1d6?
Yeah.
Because you can't advance and Blitz in the same turn.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think you want to be Deep Striking your Solitaire in.
No.
I don't think you need to. If you move him cleverly enough, I think it's just a waste of time.
Yeah. You've got this one here. Chromatic Rush. When the model advances, do not make the advance roll. Instead, you just add 6 to the move characteristic of this model. Do not make an advance roll. Instead, yes, you're just getting extra 6-inch move. And each time you pile in and consolidate, it can move an additional 3. Yeah. So you pile in and consolidate in 6 inches. So you've now got an 18 base move now, rather than 12.
Yeah. And if you're Midnight Sorrow with the Solitaire, you could be consolidating 9 inches as well.
Yep. Yeah, because
which is a lot of movement in that guy.
Yeah, and then Unnatural Acrobatics, -1 to hit him, basically.
Yeah.
Happy days. So again, pretty good, and we've got a nice combo to stack with that later. So that's the pivotal roles, mate. What's next? Stratagems?
Yep, Stratagems next.
Do you want to take us through the first one?
Yeah, let's get to it now. So the first one we got is Polychromatic Storm for 2 command points.
No, mate, you've missed the first one.
Have I? Oh, yeah. Sorry, on my list I've got here, that is the first one.
Okay, go on then. You go with that one. Any you've missed,
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
2 CPs redeploy 3 Harlequin units.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like Phantasm,
mm-hmm.
But the difference is you can only use it once, but you can put units off the board into like reserve with the stratagems.
Yeah, and normally you can't do that, can you?
Normally you can't do that.
Yeah.
I think it's less important in an ITC game because you know who's going first or second.
Yeah, because there's no Cs.
There's no Cs either, so unless you've deployed really badly, I don't think you'd be wasting your CPs on this because you've got loads of new other stratagems.
Unless you wanted to bait your opponent to go one way and you wanted to go the other.
You could do that, yeah.
Let's say you deployed on a flank of the right-hand side of Dawn of War, and then you thought, right, they've deployed there. Let's say you put your bikes there or something with the haywire, and you just go, right, pick all 3 units up, put them down on the left, whatever, because they've put their knight down there. Also, for 1 CP, you can redeploy 1 unit, because that's their main codex stratagem. So actually, you could redeploy 4 units for 3 CPs. Yeah.
Which is interesting. I mean, using it with a mixed Eldar as well with Phantasm, you could redeploy your whole army if you really needed to.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I've got the next one I got is the Curtain Falls.
Okay, yep.
2 CPs. Using the fight phase, when a Harlequin unit consolidates, until the end of that phase, instead of consolidating, you can fall back or move as if it were the movement phase.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this stratagem. It's like the Seer Council stratagem that I use on my Warlock Conclave.
Yeah.
You can almost like hit and run.
Yeah. So
you can go in, do your damage, come out, jump back in, or jump away. You can do some crazy things with like the Solitaire and stuff with this stratagem.
Yeah, and I think we can go into that a little bit more, can't we? For some like maybe where people might try but actually might not legally be able to as well in terms of the rules. So because where these movement shenanigans, it starts to form quite blurry lines, doesn't it?
Yeah. This stratagem reminds me of the old way you could play with Yunari characters, where you can just bounce him everywhere.
Yeah.
So you go in and kill a character, and then sort of jump back behind a ruin.
Yeah.
Somewhere miles away, or back into your lines.
Or jump behind a unit.
Yeah, and because Harlequins have got access to the fight again stratagem in their actual codex, so you can as long as you keep declaring units within 12, two units within 12 of each other, you can bounce from the one to the other and then bounce away again. So the actual movement could be huge.
Yeah, because especially if he's got that 9-inch pile-in.
Yeah, so you can kills the one unit, then he consolidates 9-inch, fight again, pile in, off he goes again.
Yeah,
he could bounce quite comfortably from one side of an army to another.
Yeah, absolutely. So that one's agreed. Nice. So what's next, mate, on your list?
I've got Curtain Falls. I've got Murderous Entrants.
Yep.
2 CPs.
Yep.
Using the fight phase, when you choose a Harlequin unit to fight for the first time.
Yep.
If you've charged, add 1 to your damage for your melee weapons.
Yeah. Now, quick one on this, Ben. So it says, use this stratagem in the fight phase. The first time a Harlequin's unit from your army is selected to fight that phase, until the end of the phase, if that unit has made a charge, add 1 to the damage, right? Now, does that mean the first time so let's say you did 3 charges, right? The first time a Harlequin's unit from your army is selected to fight, does that mean if you don't use it with the first unit you fought with, you can't do it at all? Or does it just mean the first time that unit is fighting when it's selected to fight? I believe it
to be the second one.
I would think so too, yeah.
It says using the fight phase when you choose a Harlequin unit to fight for the first time. Yeah. So you're choosing that unit to fight for the first time. Yeah, so I believe you can use it when you pick.
Yeah, but you couldn't do it if you were fighting again and then trying to do it, because it wouldn't be the first time that Harlequin's unit is fought, right?
Yeah, correct. I think if you're going to put 2 CPs on this, you're probably going to plan a big play with it and do the fight twice, double damage on both.
Yeah, yeah.
both attacks, get some real value out of it.
There's another stratagem we can talk about as well that I use a lot. That combos really well with this.
Yeah.
From the main
I think it's got some really nice uses, especially on Skyweavers.
Yeah, because then your Skyweavers are flat damage 3.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Kisses are D3+1, but they're only -1. But this is the sweet one, I think, is the Caress that I run a lot of, which is Strength 5 -2, 1 damage. So it's now Strength 5 -2, 2 damage. That's a decent weapon now, especially against power armor. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good.
So I think it's a fantastic stratagem for 2 CPs. So yeah, definitely. So what's next, mate, on your list?
Twilight Encore.
Yep.
1 CP. Used when an enemy unit within 1 inch of a Harlequin troop unit falls back.
Yep.
After that unit is moved, the troop unit can consolidate up to 6.
Yep.
Each model must end its move closer to the enemy unit, to an enemy unit or the nearest enemy model.
Yep.
I think this is incredibly powerful. So if you can touch a Centurion unit, and they go to fall back from you, they physically don't have enough move. You can trap anything with a move, less than 7. It's trapped even if it flies. It's stuck there.
Yeah, so I
think it's incredibly good for 1 CP.
This could be a knight. Because you could move block the knight, so you limit his movement. Right? Yeah. Like you said, so when I was playtesting earlier, I was playing against Joe and his Leviathan, and I just went into combat with him, didn't wrap him, and I had a squad of eliminators in the ruin above me. I had a squad next to me, and then I had the Leviathan, and he fell back a bit just round me, and he said, I'm going to spend 1 CP to shoot normally when I fall back. I said, okay, cool. Well, I've got a 1 CP stratagem to consolidate back into you. So I said, have your CP back, mate. This is a training game. And he said, okay. So it was a real interesting. We went through it on the academy. We'll go into that in a bit more detail about how you get around this. But this, for me, we said about that option earlier with the Solitaire, the Death Jester, that -2 movement.
Oh yeah, this is what I was about to say. Yeah,
that's the combo.
Put me to it. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, that's 10 inches then. Yeah,
you take off their movement, and then you get models so that they're kind of slightly surrounding that unit, and you want other units within 6 as well. You can't. The only thing is, obviously, when you then do your next consolidation move, you have to wrap that next unit, obviously, with that 6-inch consolidation.
Yeah. I think this is amazing.
But it says here that Harlequin troop can consolidate up to 6 inches, right? Now I assume that means that you can move 6, but you can't go over 6 inches. So if you were the there's that mask that allows you to go a little bit further.
Okay,
they wouldn't stack because it says specifically up to 6 inches.
This should be like a set move, like a Fire and Fade, where you can only go 6.
Yeah.
But I think it's incredibly good. I've just thought of scenarios where you use I like my Eldar planes. You could use planes to block the movement behind units and then pin them in.
Yeah.
They physically can't go anywhere. I mean, you could do so much with it.
Oh, I think it's top of the top draw stratagem. Yeah, absolutely. Right, Jonesy, what's next?
Okay, the next one I've got on my list I wrote down is Foes of the Mind.
So one you may have missed from, because they all came on the same page. Have you got Pivotal Roll on yours? On that list there?
Not on my handwritten list. That's the one where you change out an ability, add an extra ability, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's 1 CP. Yeah. Use a stratagem before the battle. Select 1 Troop Master, Shadowseer, Death Jester, or Solitaire model from your army. That unit gains their respective, or one of their respective Pivotal Rolls ability. That does not replace an existing ability. Each model from your ability army can have no more than 1 pivotal roll ability, and each pivotal roll ability on your army
Yeah.
must be different. So you
Yeah,
can't double up. It just means one guy can have 2 pivotal rolls. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you'll use this quite a bit with Harlequins.
I think you will. Yeah, I'm definitely using it on my Troop Master.
I barely ever use it with Craftworlds. They've got the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1 CP. I think you'll use it once, possibly twice in a Harlequin list.
Oh yeah, because I suppose you can actually use that stratagem.
You can use it multiple times. Yes, before the game in your army list. Yeah, so you can use it multiple times. So I'd probably do it on a Shadowseer and the Solitaire.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, and they'd be 2 CPs before the game, because I think Blitz is too good to lose, and you want the second one as well.
Yeah.
But that's
I've just
really good
a crazy combo of that Solitaire, which I'm sure you'll touch on. So, right, next page of strats then, mate.
I got Foes of the Mind.
Yep.
2 CPs.
Yep.
Use it at the start of the shooting or fight phase.
Yep.
A Shadowseer's -1 to wound aura applies to all mask units, not just mask infantry.
Yeah, that's really good.
If you use the one to extend the aura as well, then you pay 2 CPs for this. You've actually got -1 to wound on the Skyweavers.
For 9 inches,
all your transports. It's the equivalent of. I think it's better. Yeah, and it's better for Harlequins than using something like prepared positions. If there's nowhere to hide and you go in second to like a gun line or something.
Yeah.
I actually think this one's better.
Yeah.
Because you've got your stacked minuses to hit anyway, and then you put in minuses to wound on your tougher stuff as well.
Yeah, because the bikes are stock -1 to hit, aren't they?
Stock -1 to hit, and you can stratagem them for another -1 to hit. And then you've got -1 to wound on them as well. People are going to be spending... If you go first and get in the midfield and there's nothing for you to charge, or you're stuck in the middle, you've also used the other strats in the Harlequin book, so they give them a 3-up invon.
Yeah.
And then you move the second unit and you give it a 3-up invon in the psychic phase.
Yeah.
And then you make everything -1 to wound.
Yeah. It's nice. Just gives you that durability that the Harlequin bikes definitely need.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really good.
Yeah. And what I love about this is it just gives such utility to taking... Before it felt like the Shadowseer was... Alright, the double move was nice, but then because the -1 to wound didn't affect the bikes, it was feeling a bit pointless to take him. But now it's, with all these pivotal rolls, or even minusing 6 off the range. So if you've got like you said, both units on a 3+, one unit's that's -1, the other unit's -2, they're -1 to wound, and you're taking 6 inches off any unit that tries to shoot them, they become a lot more survivable now.
Oh yeah, and the one scary unit with the shooting guns, you also -6, and then you -2 to its move as well.
Yep, and then what you can do is
slowing it down more.
Absolutely, and then the other thing there's a power to give that unit a 6-up feel no pain as well.
Yeah, and if you're souping like I probably will, you throw away a warlock if you need to, and you restrain them as well.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you restrain halves your move.
Yeah.
So, half your move -2. I mean, that's really, really good.
Or do you -2 and then half? Because you, in terms of the characteristic, it says you -2 off the characteristic, and normally you apply modifiers to the characteristic first.
You'd -2 and half it, yeah.
Yeah, so if you've got a 6-inch, that would, if you, let's say your unit of Space Marines, well actually, let's take Assault Centurions, they would their movement's 4, isn't it? So -2, yeah, and then you'd half that so you can move 1 inch. Whereas a unit of Assault Marines would -2 to 10, you'd half that to a 5-inch move.
Yeah, I think there's loads of stuff to do with it. I think it's going to be really fun when we all finally get back out of this pandemic. When we get back on the tables to experiment a lot with this, is going to be good fun.
Yeah, and the Harlequins just sound so exciting to play now with all these little movement shenanigans. They're a lot more survivable.
Yeah, I like fast units that can move twice. Units that can be one side of the board and then you can suddenly put them the other side.
Yeah.
I like those kind of units.
Absolutely. Right, so what's your next one, mate? Next strategy?
Mythic Roll.
Yep.
1 CP.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a Shadow Seer, you can select an Aldari unit before the battle. Each time they shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 hit or 1 room roll.
Yeah.
You can only use this once.
Interesting, it says Aldari unit.
Yeah, so you can cross this across to your allies.
You could stick it on a Wraith Knight if you ever ran one. I mean, I don't know. But yeah,
I don't know why you would have one, but if you did, you could.
Yeah. And this is every time it's chosen to shoot or fight. It's 1 hit or 1 wound roll.
Yeah. It's like giving a unit Master Crafters out of the craft book.
Yeah, but it's one or the other, isn't it? Not both.
Yeah. No, you can't do both, but...
Now, I could see I can see this being used on the Death Jester.
Yeah.
Because he hits on 2, so you'd probably miss with 1.
Or any sniper character out of the Eldar books, so like Margan Ra.
Yeah.
Anyone who's really good at shooting.
Yeah.
You could probably alter them, but I don't think it'll be used much. I think it's just a little nifty one in there.
Yeah.
Something bit of flavour, rather than a useful one.
Yeah.
Next one I've got is Eye of Domination.
Yep.
Which is 1 CP.
Mm-hmm.
Use it when the Solitaire dies in melee. The unit that killed him suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
It cannot be used in conjunction with the no price too steep stratagem.
Which is basically when that character dies, he can fight again.
Yeah. I mean...
You're fighting again, let's be honest, for that extra CP.
You're fighting again, unless the only thing you're in combat with is a character with, like, say, 1 wound left or something.
And it guarantees
then you might say, I'm just going to do 1 CP and he's just dead.
Yeah, or a knight where you think, actually, the Solitaire might not even hurt the thing, so... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Then go on.
And then I've got Virtus, I can't even say that word, of the Webway.
Some
1 CP.
Webway. Yep.
Use at the end of your movement, select a Harlequin infantry, remove them, and deep strike them back at the end of your next movement phase. It basically turns you could turn your big unit of 10 troops into Swooping Hawks.
Yep.
Basically.
Pick them up. Next turn, bring them back.
Pick them up, drop them down.
So Alpha Legion have got the same one, haven't they?
Yeah. Say they murder something on one side of the board and there's nothing else there.
Yep.
You could say, for 1 CP I'll put them up, and then I'll drop them down next to the Warlord Troop Master who does the reroll charges.
Yep. Or
drop them back down and bang.
You need that Death Jester to get back on the other side of the board to start giving you, let's say you've got 2 flanks to hit. You need to get back over to the other one to pull some shenanigans down. Great. So I earlier took the when I was playing, I used the Death Jester because it was the ITC with the 3 objectives, and I took the fan favourite, the Postman.
I knew you were going to say this.
Yeah. So
Jack will be laughing now when he listens to this.
Yeah.
He loves the Postman.
So Death Jester chilled on the middle objective, dackering away. Moved over to his deployment one, got that one. End game 1 CP, pick him up, put him down on mine. Cool, got maxed out my secondaries. Thank you very much. Perfect.
Yeah, I see him as like, it's going to be that nifty. Like you got that turn where you need to grab the hold more or something, and you've got like say 2 troops left in a unit that are going to give up a kill in your opponent's turn.
Yep.
You almost pick that liability unit up, and then in your turn it scores you the point instead of them the point.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
I think that's the sort of use you're going to use for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, repositioning the character's really good as well.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
That's all the strats I actually wrote down.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
all
if
of
I've
them.
missed any.
No, that's all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're on to relics now, aren't we? And there is
we are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new relics. We'll quickly whiz through these as we're already chugging through time. So one of them is for the Shadow Seer, and you add 3 to its range of its aura, and you add 3 to the range of the psychic powers manifested. So there was already a similar one for the aura in the normal codex, but the addition here of the add 3 to the range, why is that good, Ben, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's my favourite relic out of them. The +3 is brilliant because the double movement one, I think you've got to be within 3 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's suddenly 6. So that 3,
Yeah.
you've actually tacked onto the movement of your bikes.
Yeah.
So they're another 3 inches further forward, which for Harlequins, I mean, means your bikes are moving something stupid like over 40 inches easily.
Yeah. Well, they normally move 22, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, double move them, so 44.
Yeah.
And then with all these piling tricks, I think the movement's key with Harlequins, so anything that adds to your movement's brilliant.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So the next one is called, this one's for the Death Jester only. It's the some sort of lament. We're going to call it the lament, whatever.
Sounds good to me.
The lament, whatever. And I tested this one out a couple of times. You've got 2 profiles. It's range 36, assault 1, strength 6 -3, flat damage 3, which is great. Or you go for the shuriken, which is 36-inch range, assault 3, strength 6 -3, 1 damage. Now, we had a bit of a debate about this earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, because currently how it's wrote, it's very easy to abuse it. It's probably going to get changed.
I think it'll get FAQ'd straight away. So before selecting targets, select one of the profiles above to make the attack, right? So each time a model is slain by an attack made with the whale profile, and that's the flat 3 damage, the one-shotter, its unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So, sorry, each time a model is slain by an attack made with the whale, its unit suffers D3 mortal wounds, and until the end of the turn, subtract 2 from the leadership of models in that unit. Now, this would combo with 2 things. So if you use the stratagem, as we just mentioned earlier, to either get double hit or triple hit, that would stack with this. So you'd get 3 shots if you rolled a 6. And then potentially if you killed 3 models, you would then roll 3d3, right? Mortal wounds. Because if you killed, if 3 models were slain, so let's say you killed 3 intercessors, right? Because it's flat damage 3, you rolled your 3d3, it would be, let's say, average 2. So let's say you killed another 3 intercessors with this weapon. Then the wording here says subtract 2 from the leadership characteristics of model in this unit. Now, some people have read that, Ben, as what?
Well, at the moment, how it actually reads is that I actually believe it reads like this: is that if you killed 3 models, the leadership of the unit would be -6. Because it says any model slain causes D3 mortals to its unit and -2 leadership.
Yeah, but I said that the Shrieker one in the Codex says it has exactly the same wording.
Yeah.
So it says if an... Oh, now, here's a different one. Normally it's only against infantry. That works on anything. So the lament...
Yes, it does.
So that's one change. That may change as well.
I've got my book here as well.
If an infantry... So this one says, if an infantry model is slain by an attack made with this weapon, then a unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. If a model in that unit... slain by this weapon, subtract... Sorry, it says if any models in the unit is slain, then you subtract 2. So I think it will have that second wording. Whether it only works on infantry, is that deliberate? Was that an oversight? Was it a mistake?
I think they'll keep the top bit so it can do mortals to anything.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely agree with you. They'll change the leadership one, else you're going to be sticking -6 on units.
Yeah.
For free, basically.
And the thing is, what that pairs really well with is the Shadow Seer's weapon. Because when you hit with the Shadow Seer's weapon, you roll 2 dice. So you get the one shot, you roll 2 dice, and if you roll over their leadership, you then do D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, and you could use a Phantasm grenade launchers from Drukhari as well, which do the same.
Yeah, and you could use it if the Hemlock was nearby. That's another 2, -2.
Oh, you could do some terrible things with it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's real janky that way. So I think I've just been pairing, because I run triple Shadow Seer, or I was. You know, each one does a smite, each one does a sort of targeted version of a smite, and then they pumping out 3 of these shots. You know, it's a lot of mortal wounds output from just 3 characters, or 4 characters, including the Death Jester there. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
good.
I
It's
agree.
good.
I agree with you. They're not going to let you stack -6.
Yeah, and the flat damage 3 is nice as well, which is definitely what they needed. So next up is called the Twilight Fang. This is for Troop Master. Now this replaces a Harlequin's Blade. The Blade is the free weapon you get, which doesn't actually do anything apart from give your position away, because Harlequins love sticking them in the air, or a Power Sword. So actually this, if you give it to a Troop Master, you don't need to pay any points for any weapon whatsoever. Now this Twilight Fang, this is my personal favourite relic, and I'm taking this every game, I think. And I'm not normally one, bear in mind guys, you know me by now, I love things that buff armies, not so much. But this has place in my army, and I'll tell you why. So it's a melee weapon, +2 strength, so he's now strength 5, -3, which is unheard of in the, well, you can get the strength 4 -3 one, but it's only 1 damage. This is a flat damage 2. So strength 5 -3, flat damage 2. Now this is the best thing. Each time the bearer fights, it makes a number of additional attacks with this weapon equal to the current battle round number. So I run a Frozen Star guy, Frozen Star Troop Master. He gets 5 attacks base, +1 for charging, because that's my mask trait, so I'm on 6 attacks. If I'm in combat in turn 3, I'm getting 9 attacks. If I'm in combat in turn 4, I'm getting 10 attacks. And then there's even ways to add on extra attacks. But typically with 10 attacks, it's strength 5, -3, 2 damage. You kill most things.
Yeah. And can you give it the +1 damage strat as well?
+1 to... You can give him the +1 damage stratagem for 2 CPs, yeah? So he's flat damage 3. And because I'm a Frozen Star, you can get +1 to wound.
Yeah.
Or, now this is what I pair this guy with, is that always wounds on a 2 against infantry.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, I think, yeah.
But this guy can run into a knight with 10 attacks. He's going to get, and if you make him the Great Harlequin as well, or he's got a Great Harlequin nearby, which is basically reroll 1s to hit in the combat phase, you're getting 10 attacks. That's pretty much 9 or 10 hits. Now you're strength 5, but yes, you're wounding on 5s, but then you are re-rolling all failed wound rolls. And at -3, 2 damage, quite a fair few are going to go through, so you're going to take a big old chunk out of that knight. And then what you can do is always, use that stratagem instead of consolidating, just fall out of combat so he can't hit you back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good.
Perfect. So next up is Vale of Tears. Once per turn, the first time a saving throw is failed for the bearer, the saving throw is treated as successful. Now
It's not bad.
On your Solitaire, that's pretty good. Because he's got a 3++, hasn't he?
Yeah, but you're going to take the character rows on him.
You are, yeah. Or ignore Overwatch Relic.
Yeah.
Or the Suit of Hidden Daggers now, because if you take the stock -1 to hit one, so the suit, this is a little cheeky combo for you, but the Suit of Hidden Daggers is every time you roll a 1 when you're attacking the Solitaire or whoever's got that relic, I roll a dice, and if I roll a 2 or more, you take a mortal wound for every 1 you roll. So if you're -1 to hit, that becomes every 1 in 2. I can cast on my guy -1 to hit, so that's every 1, 2, and 3. I can then cast -1 to hit on you, so that's 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. And then I can put Lightning Fast on the guy, so every 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 you roll is now a mortal wound to yourself. And you remember, you have to fight. So you plonk him in the middle of an Orc Boy squad, and the whole unit will just dissipate before they'll just self-implode.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really good, but I think a lot of people would just choose not to pile into you.
Yeah, but let's think, you're only on a 25mm base.
Yeah, you've got to get right in there.
You've got to jump in the middle of them. Remember, you can, because you've got the flip belts. You can jump right in the middle. So I did this against Co, and we were playing about 18 months ago, whenever it was. And I did exactly that. I jumped in the middle of this Orc Boy squad, and he had to think, because obviously it's models within an inch, and then models within an inch of an inch have to fight. So I think he had 10 guys had to fight. That's still 40 attacks from boys.
you're gonna murder a whole squad if they leave you a gap.
Yeah. So
Yeah, 100%.
they're gone. But it's a janky. You've got 2 powers you've got to get off. It costs 2 CPs. It's situationally good, but not reliable, which is why I probably won't go for it myself unless you're up against that player who's got like, I don't know, 300 grots, and you're like, okay, this could come in handy now.
Yes, stick it in and see what it does.
Yeah. So next one is Domino Shroud. Once per battle, at the end of any phase, if the bearer was not set up on the battlefield with reinforcements this turn, they can use the Spectral Apparition. If they do place a marker within 12 of the bearer, then remove them from the battle and set them up again within 1 inch of the centre of that marker and more than 1 inch away from enemy models. The bearer is not eligible to charge in the turn in which it was set up in this manner, although the bearer can use this relic in which a turn it charged. And it once per battle at the end of any phase. That could be at the end of your morale phase, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be any time.
Any phase. See any play for that one?
No, I think there's better relics, but you can do situational things.
Yeah.
Move, go in, fight, move back out, maybe to jump on the bonus objective or something like that.
Do you know when I could see this being used? When's
that?
When you double move a unit.
Yeah.
And I've always found the Harlequins really need support from their reroll wound troop master.
Yeah.
So what you could do is move and advance a troop master, and then for that turn, that big, let's say you're running a big 12-man unit of Quins, and you've double moved them, you're getting them into combat. They got a 3++, they got -1 to hit on them, but they need the reroll wounds.
Your extra 12 inches.
You can just basically shunt him forward 12 inches to give you the rerolls. That's all and that's him done then, right? And then they can fall back and then protect that character.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way of using it.
So I think that's quite good, especially on long deployment. So like on your hammer and anvils, your stuff like that.
Problem is with Quins is they've got so many nice relics. You can only take so many.
Yeah, and two things you were going to ask me this, weren't you? But 2 things that. Like things I wish it had.
Yeah. So what's missing from the book, Steve? What would you would you like to add in?
I would have loved 1 CP for 1 relic, like the Space Marines got. I'd have also liked a 1 CP for an extra Warlord trait.
Yes,
because
that would be very nice.
Harlequins have got some incredible Warlord traits, but I actually think the Harlequins, Relics, and Warlord traits are just some of the best in the game, but they're often overlooked. Like all of these we've just spoke about, I would consider.
They've all got uses. There's none there that you'd say are absolute garbage.
No.
Like some of the ones in the books, like my Craft World ones, where you could just leave them behind.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then this next one quickly, just Destiny's Jest. Before we forget, you basically select one of the following abilities, or you roll 2d6, and you get a randomly determined one. It's like +1 attack, +1 strength, +1 toughness, +1 wound, +3 move, or +1 to the AP. Yeah, which is alright, but I don't think you're going for that so much.
I think that's the worst one because it's a random dice roll.
Yeah, well, you can pick one of them, but
okay, yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think it's great.
No.
So,
yeah.
In your opinion, then, out of what we've just gone through, what's your favourite new relic?
I love that sword.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, that Domino Shroud. Currently, I'm in love with that relic sword, but from literally just telling you how I would use that now, sort of deconstructing it a little bit more, I'd probably take that Domino Shroud for that 12-inch apparition. Yeah.
My favourite relic is the +3 to the aura one, and +3 range on the sidekick. Your favourite new stratagem?
See, there you go, Jonesy. Think about this, mate. At the end of your movement phase, you could shunt your Shadow Seer an extra 12 inches up the table. You wouldn't need the extra 3 range on that psychic power. So he's now moving 20. So he moves 8 plus advance, right? You could essentially auto advance him 6 inches for 1 CP.
Yeah.
So that's going to get
Yeah.
you a 14-inch move. You could shunt him 12, so he's now got a 26-inch move. He's actually going to overtake your bikes.
So your bikes are going anywhere on the table.
Yeah.
I've got to look at that then. That's actually a really good way of using it.
Yeah. So
I think that relic. The more we talk about that relic, I actually think it's got some really good plays.
Right, we can't put this podcast out, mate. These are, we're giving away the top tactics here.
Let's hide it.
Yeah.
Your favourite of the stratagems?
Favourite of the stratagems has to be. I'm torn between the +1 damage.
Yeah.
Or the consolidate. As if in the consolidation in the movement. No, when they fall back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like curtain falls when you can fall back instead of consolidate, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just think like certain ways you can use the Solitaire now. I think he's probably the best assassin in the game.
Yeah.
With Corex Rose, and you put the -1 to hit, pay the stratagem, so he keeps blitz.
Yeah.
Because you get to move again with that stratagem, the curtain falls one. Because it takes your movement, that you take the doubled movement from the blitz and keep it.
I don't know how. Well, so
yeah, because that alters your movement characteristic for 1 turn. The blitz does. So
right.
then when you
let's have a look at
when
that.
when you use that stratagem again,
yeah.
I mean your Solitaire can move like sort of because he's movement 10, isn't he?
He's
12.
He's movement 12 base, yeah. Now,
and then he's got auto advance 6 charge.
Well, if you
I think you can get 19 inches of move.
Well, the thing is with him, you can't blitz in advance in the same turn.
Okay, so you don't advance.
But what I would do, I wouldn't take the -1 to hit. If you're going to go for that combo, I would take the 6-inch additional on the movement characteristic. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because then that isn't an advance roll, because it says don't roll the advance roll, but the blitz doesn't allow you to advance anyway. So you'd be 18-inch move plus your blitz.
Yeah.
So it's once per battle. Instead of making a normal move with the Solitaire, you can blitz move with it. If you do so, add 2d6 to the model's characteristics for this turn. In addition, the model's attacks. This ability can be not used that has been selected as a target of Twilight Pathway, so you can't double tap him.
No, but once he's got that fixed, the additional movement, it's fixed on, so you keep it. So when he does this move again after he's killed a unit or a character, he's moving.
What's the average?
That massive range again. Yeah.
So he's got a
you know what I mean?
He's got a 25-inch move averagely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just think it's insane.
And then you can jump 25 inches, then charge, consolidate, etc. Pile in, and then instead of consolidating, you can fly him back, or you can fight him twice, and you can go that. Because you're going to get the extra 3-inch pile in, you're going to go 25 averagely, you make your charge, you then pile in 6, you can consolidate 6, you can fight him again, he can then pile in 6, and then
you can just move
then
everywhere.
You can just fall back 25 inches into safety, can't you? I think it's really nice, yeah.
You could go there. They have 2 key characters that are 24 apart, and you go bang 12 in the middle and declare them both.
The only problem with that, mate, is that you wouldn't be able to fight again after the.
Once I've moved again, can I not?
No, because you. Let's think about this. This is interesting because use this stratagem in the fight phase. When a Harlequins unit from your army would consolidate until the end of phase, instead of consolidating, that unit can fall back or move as if it was your movement phase. Okay, so
I just move within 3 inches of someone I've declared and then fight again to pile in?
Yes, because you charged and because you declared him, you can, when you come to reactivate when you spend the 3 CPs, you could then pile back into combat and fight. But yeah, you're right. You would have to have declared both units.
He's gonna, that's why I said you've got to be sort of within 24 of the 2. To get to that sweet spot in the middle to get the charges off.
Yes, you've got to position him perfectly, 12 inches either side, make your charge, dash back the other way, bosh again. I mean, it's a 5 CP spend in it to do that.
Yeah, because he's Harlequins, he's ignoring models. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you could do some, like, you could, if again we went back to orcs earlier, if it's an orc player and they've got the 2 to jump weird boys,
yeah,
and they somehow put them within 20 of each other,
yeah,
and there's a way you can bounce in and kill both.
yeah. Or
I mean, there
got
is plays for it.
That souped up shocker which does mortal wounds for days.
Yeah.
Just get rid of him.
Go in and nuke him.
Yeah, or the Vexator Mask.
Yeah.
Or the Armour of Rust, whatever it is that he is the...
Whatever's going to give you a bad time. The guy with Death Hex, or, you know, the guy with Null Zone. The thing that's going to... You could go get Tigerius. You know, the thing that you need to take out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, it's really interesting.
Agree with you there, mate. I think that's fantastic. So so I actually took him out of my list. So I'm not gonna. I'm actually gonna leave my list a little bit I don't want to talk about it too much, but I will say this.
Yeah.
I took out one Troop Master, I took out a Shadow Seer, and I took out the Solitaire, and I added in, and I think I had to remove one other Harlequin in a weapon or something.
Yeah.
I added in the Incarn. Because you know how much I love the Incarn, mate.
Yeah. So back to the Harlequins. What's your favourite new combo? What's your best character combo or stratagem combo?
So
we're going to reveal your little deadly guy.
Well, yeah. So I love the Troop Master, as I said earlier. But my favourite combo is actually a Shadow Seer, who I make my Warlord, okay? And I give him the Warlord trait for the 6+ Feel No Pain ability. That's an aura where you only take... It's basically when you lose your last wound, as soon as you do that, you roll a dice, and on a 6, you completely ignore it. So I run him with the -1 to wound in the pivotal roll -6 range. And for me, I keep him hidden out of line of sight all the time, and he's just he just makes my army just sing. And then he's got the 2 powers, which is -1 on my unit to make it -1 to hit, and then another one which is on the enemy unit. So I think that's just some really nice combinations there for durability. But the power combo I was talking about was the +1 damage on a unit, which you mentioned, then +1 to wound, because I run Frozen Stars, which is +1 attack on the charge, because that is their specialist Warlord trait, is from Frozen Stars. That's why I run my whole army's Frozen Stars. Yeah, and then because I
think Frozen Stars is a very good choice,
because that 6+ Feel No Pain in my list build, you know, giving yourself that 18% extra survivability is fantastic. Combining that with the other stuff just makes the army just a little bit more durable. But the Frozen Stars can get the +1 damage now from this new book, which is great. But then you've got the +1 to wound as well. So Assault Centurions, you know, the other day I played against Joe, and with my list, in one turn, I killed 10 Grotesques. I killed 6 Talos, a Kronos, and then I wrapped the Homunculus of all my units, and we just shook hands. That was in one turn.
God, 10 Grotesques.
I set it up perfectly because I shot him with that Gore Charts Lemon, whatever, so -2 the leadership. I put in triple smites, and I used that thing to get the D3 mortal wounds, and then
You managed to stay out the range of the Vexator.
So I got a solution for that now. So I charged him because I double moved the unit over the top of everything. They made the charge on the Homunculus with the Vexator, so he has to declare the unit to fight last is the one that's going to fight him. Because otherwise, if I activate them first and kill him, then the Relic's gone, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, my Homunculus would be rammed in between my Grotesques.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was about 6 inches back, or 4 inches back behind the... you'd have to bubble him right up to protect him.
Yeah, because I think Harlequins, that's where they're going to be key. If anyone leaves a character sort of just out of position, they're just going to absolutely destroy it.
That Solitaire's going to go and just go.
I'm just going to put him in just for fun.
Yeah.
I like playing the sort of combat, like mixed Elder Army, Grotesques and Seer Council and Shining Spears, Wraith Blades. I'm just going to put in a little Supreme of Harlequins. Yeah, I think.
Or you run a Supreme, or you run the elite one where you get 2 Death Jesters, Solitaire, and you run a Shadow Seer or a Troop Master, whichever one you prefer.
Yeah, or both. A little like combat element, and then I've got like characters like Drazar and Homunculus with the Fight Last Mass. Just make a real like mash of Eldar combat characters. Yeah. And it'd be quite fun to play.
Can you imagine I'm seeing now a soup of Janezar, Drazar.
That's what I mean.
And then you can run.
I put Drazar in the Homunculus with the Vexator Mask because he's got advance and he's got Ignore Overwatch as well. Yeah. So he's another one who's just going to go in there and just cause havoc because he's going to turn a unit off. Yeah. Stop the Overwatch for your Harlequins, and your Death Jester's going to turn the Overwatch off for another unit. Yeah. You know, if you use stuff like Banshees or Janezar, they turn off another unit because they can't be overwatched. Yeah.
Then the Death Jester can shoot at one. There's a Relic which you can take to turn off another one, right? And then you can also make a unit from the certain mask that you spend the CPs so that also turns off Overwatch as well when that unit charges. So because the masks aren't incredible, I actually run a mixed attachment where I pick and choose the masks because that's one thing that
I want to use the stratagems.
All the best stratagems are mask dependent. Now the other good thing, isn't there a Warlord trait for Eldar that turns it off as well? A Warlord trait?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so you could have like you could probably turn off the entire Tau army from Overwatch.
Yeah, that's what. You could charge in with 5 or 6 units that just deny Overwatch. Yeah. I mean, there's some really. I think there's going to be some really funky lists, so people are going to try them. Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's absolutely incredible. Well, Ben, let's wrap that up. We've been an hour and 6 minutes. What's your top pick just before we go?
I'm going to have to go back to me Solitaire with the consolidate, the fallback and recharge. I think it's really cool.
So are you going to write a Eldar list with some Harlequins in we can add to the website?
Oh, yeah, we'll do.
So if you want to see mine and Ben's takes on some of this stuff, then you can head over to the website www.vanguardtactics.com/blog/EP15 and you can download our cheeky lists. You probably won't see my full competitive list yet because I'm still playtesting that and I want to make sure that I can get it solid before I go to any GTs, but I'll certainly give you some ideas to play with anyway. But hopefully, guys, if you haven't done so already, go out and get your White Dwarf magazine and go pick up some Harlequins while you're at it. Ben, thank you so much for joining us once again.
It was a pleasure.
And we'll see you on another episode of the Vanguard Tactics podcast. Take care.